Hey guys, I'm back with another tag video. I'm going to be doing that how I read tag, so let's get started. Question 1, how do you find new books? I find books a lot of different ways. Sometimes I go on Goodreads and just look at the recommendations they give me. Sometimes I just go on BookTube and watch videos, and if it sounds interesting, I buy it. And sometimes I find them through mutual friends. I find them through, if my friends like it, they'll recommend it to me and I'll give it a shot. Sometimes I just, as bad as it sounds, I'll go into Barnes & Noble and just buy a book, and if it looks pretty, I read it. How did you get into reading? I got into reading through my mom. From the time I was in her belly, she was listening to books on tape and reading to me. So I feel like it kind of came into the world reading. I started reading independently by myself in first grade, and that's when I started reading the Harry Potter books, and it just opened my eyes to this magical world. The other series I got really into when I was little was the Magic Treehouse books by Mary Pope Osborne. I loved those books when I was little. So I felt so proud of myself because I could come home and read an entire book in a day. I also loved the Lemony Snicket books, and then the Among the Hidden books I love too. So yeah, that's how I got into reading, was my mom. How has your taste in books changed? I don't really think it has. Even as a child, I read whatever I wanted. And I feel like it's still the same. I'm not a big fan of, historical fiction unless it's, got something more to it. I really love YA, but I also love some adult novels, depending on the novel. It all depends on what the book's about and if I like it or not. So I don't really think my taste has changed. I don't know how to answer this question. Sorry, guys. So I guess I'm just going to stick with my taste really hasn't changed. How often do you buy books? I buy books a lot more often than I probably should. Either my big problem is my Kindle, because the books will be cheap, so I'll be like, oh, it's only $1.99 here, $1.99 there. And then I go online and I shop and it's just terrible. I'm so bad. Because I'm like, oh, well, Catty-tastic talked about this book, so it must be good. Or Pullin' Bananas Books love this book. Or Goodreads says I'm going to love this book. So, yeah, I buy books way more often than I should. I probably buy about 2 books a week. Sometimes I'm really good, though, and buy, 2 books a month. It all depends, but probably a lot more often than I should. How did you get into booktubing? Well, I guess I'm still kind of getting into booktubing. I'm still figuring out what I like and, what works for my channel. But I watched other people do it, and I realized I really wanted to, and I'm not YouTube famous or anything. I think I have probably 1 subscriber at this point, but I'm getting somewheres, you know? I'm getting my opinions out there, and I'm having fun doing it, which is the whole reason I started this. So yeah, I got into booktubing through mutual love of reading and books and wanting to share my opinions. How do you react if you don't like the end of a book? Sometimes I'll just put it down and, shame it. I won't pick it back up for a while. Sometimes I cry. I cry a lot. I wasn't a big fan of the end of In the Afterlight. I feel like it was too much of a happy ending for my taste. So, but I enjoyed the rest of the book. So I just kind of put it away, and maybe one day I'll go back to it, but right now, no. I don't get over dramatic and throw a temper tantrum or anything. In my mind I do, but not physically. And lastly, how often do you look at the last page of a book? A lot. I don't read the last page of the book, but I do look to be like, oh, there's 565 pages in this. But I've never really read the last page of the book since I was younger, and because I don't like to spoil myself, I like it to be a surprise. So not very often. And when I'm on my Kindle, never. So yeah, guys, that was the How I Read tag. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!